Let me ask you a simple question. If a doctor refer you to do a heart test for a hand injury, will you question it? Because a few months ago, I didn't. But after what I experienced at a federal hospital here in Osun State, I will never look at medical referrals the same again. Recently, a Nigerian doctor based in the US was charged for a 25 million healthcare fraud. But for me, it hit close to home because what I faced here in Nigeria was just as troubling. A few months ago, I traveled to Osun State for a family function. Before I went, I had an injury in my left hand. I had fallen and there was a slight dislocation. Nothing too major. I was managing it, but at the event, a relative of mine who is a medical doctor noticed my hand and got concerned. He advised me to stop treating it myself and go straight to the Federal Medical Hospital for proper care. When I got to the hospital, I met a female doctor. Now, here is where things get strange. Without assessing the injury, she immediately referred me for a heart-related test. And not in the hospital, outside, at a privately owned diagnostic center. I didn't question it first. I just followed the instruction. I went, did the test, brought the result back. Only after that, she examined my hand and then told me to do an x-ray, this time inside the hospital. Eventually, she prescribed a few drugs and ointment for massage. But I already spent money on the test that had nothing to do with my hand. When I called my relative, the same doctor who sent me there and explained everything, he was furious. He asked me, why did she refer you for a heart test that is not even related to your injury? And more importantly, why outside the hospital? He said it's a common scheme. Some doctors have deals with private lab and they send patients there to make money for their referrals, regardless if the test is needed or not. That eats me. If the doctors in federal hospitals are running referrals rackets, who are we supposed to trust? Now fast forward to this week, the US Department of Justice announced that 324 people, including 96 medical professionals, were charged in a national healthcare fraud takedown. One of them, a Nigerian man named Olatubosun Oshukoya, based in Plateau, Texas. He owned a lab called Cambridge Diagnostics and was accused of submitting over $25 million in fake claims to insurance companies like Medicare and TRICARE. How? He targeted people with insurance, referred them for expensive EEG tests, even when they didn't need them, and then paid bribes to doctors to send patients his way. Sounds familiar? That is exactly what my doctor relative suspected was happening back in Osun State. So while some Nigerians are running these scams abroad, others are quietly doing the same right here in government hospitals to people like you and me. Here's the scariest part of this. If doctors no longer trust each other, how are patients supposed to survive? My own relative in the medical field and even didn't feel safe leaving me in the hand of another licensed doctor. We already know that many of our best doctors have left Nigeria. So when we can't even trust the few here, and then hear that those abroad are being arrested for fraud, it raises painful questions. Are we producing healers or hustlers in lab coats? This isn't about my hand or a bad doctor or a Nigerian man being charged. It's about the eroding trust in the system that is supposed to save lives. Whether it's a fake heart test in Osun State or a $25 million fraud case in Texas, these schemes are hurting real people. And the sad part, many victims don't even know that they have been scammed. If you have been referred for a strange test or overcharged for unnecessary treatment, tell your story in the comments. Let's stop normalizing this. Let's talk about it. And if you are new here, subscribe for more stories exposing fraud, corruption and injustice at home and abroad, because silence only protects the scammers. Share your thoughts.